How early in life did you all notice that the crooked room existed at the intersection of your identities?
I really don't think I noticed until the summer after my freshman year is when like Mike Brown got killed, and I didn't know anything about like institutionalized anything until that, like the summer before that I went to Anytown, which is do you know what Anytown is?
Is that the program through UMSL?
It was at UMSL, but it's a social justice institute for like teenagers, and I went the summer after my freshman year, and that's when I learned about racism, sexism, all that good stuff. And it wasn't because before then the high school I went to, they really taught us that like it don't matter if you're black, white, purple, or green. So I didn't really I know that I look different, but since I was constantly told that we weren't different, I was like, okay, I'm tripping. So I don't think I really noticed that anything was like skewed until after I was taught like what all these isms were.
Yeah.
You know what? I can think of several instances beginning as a teen where now with my adult mind, I'm like, oh, okay, that's what you were noting. That's what was uncomfortable. That's what was standing out to you. I remember being about 14 and being in church, and they used to have something called devotion. Now churches have praise and worship. So you get up there and it's like a whole Beyonce show before the preacher come on. But it used to be like devotion where it would be like, the deacon saying these rote memorized prayers that had the words cool and board and now and we something. Oh, thank you, Lord. So then they would have testimony. After devotion, they would open the floor to testimony. So people would talk about the good things that had happened that week, and they would owe it to God and everything. And I just remember a young woman stood up and she said, I just want to say I can't wait to get to heaven so I can praise him all day long. And something in my 14-year-old head was like, I was just like, is that what their idea of heaven is? Yeah. Like, we just praise him now for eternity? That doesn't sound fun. So that was one thing. Then there was this other thing. I was in like a high school rap group when I was in high school. I was in a high school rap group. Yeah. And we were like tri-state celebrities, and I performed at my own prom. Yeah, I lived the dream. I was super popular, all that good stuff. So, we had our little local record out. I mean, you know what I'm saying. We were on the radio, all that stuff. We were famous in our 100-mile radius. So I had a very good friend, one of my best friends, who was gay. We didn't call it that at the time because it was a weird high school. You're in denial. All signs point to yes, but we're going to keep saying no type time. Yeah. So I just remember we had this one song dedicated to our class, and me and my partner wrote this list of shout outs that were a lot of people's like nicknames and stuff, because this was exclusively black kids. We went to a high school that was black and white, but our crew was just the black kids. So it was like Nunu and JK and Big Red and Lil Ron. So I
was like, dang, they're kind of hit.
And like, so we said, right, hey. So we strategically left out this friend's name. And I promise you, it has something to do with him being queer. It was another way of like setting him apart. And he called me out on it. And I didn't have a decent answer for him. But later I realized, you were just a homophobe. You were just a homophobe, and that was one way that you othered him.
I just remember something. Keep going.
Yeah. So there are lots of little times that I think back on that I realized that the room was crooked and that I was performing in ways that colluded with it or that conformed to it. Maya just remembered something.
I did. I just remember when you was talking, the first time I met somebody who was trans was when I went to Anytown. And I just remember I said something super problematic. There were like maybe 3 or 4 trans people there, and I kept misgendering them. And when I got called out on it, the only thing I could say was I said something along the lines of like, I'm supposed to remember everybody's name and pronouns to like just like no. And like just thinking about how like even like you said, like I'm behaving in ways that like I'm messing it up for somebody else, which I think is just wild. And like looking back, I'm so disappointed in myself. But like, yeah, that was like super transphobic, and I was confident that I was right. I was like, no, I'm not gonna remember your name and your pronouns. Pick one. That's wild.
Yeah, it's something about how navigating it. The Crooked Room effectively causes us to come to terms with ways that we're both oppressed, but also ways that we experience privilege and how that plays into the ways we're working to stop or the ways that we perpetuate.